Alright guys, so recently there's been a lot of scamming news in the underground, and underground rappers scamming their fans is absolutely nothing new. And I made a couple of videos on a couple of these situations. For example, one of them was Until Japan. He scammed like 20 producers or 10 producers or something. And the top comment was, "It's so lame to think that it's normal or okay for underground rappers to be scamming their fans," or something along the lines. Because in that video I said, hey, it's the normal, it's what happens, it's kind of what's expected, and I'm not condoning it. But this guy was like, bro, you're lame for that, so let's talk about it. Anyways, there was a recent scamming or situation that happened. Basically, the producer for Lazerdim's Asian Rock called him out for never paying for the beat. He basically said, "I know a lot of you followers are Asian Rock fans, and I just wanted to let you know Lazer took me out of the credits for asking for splits and never paid me for that beat. Song has like 6 million plays across all platforms, and it's his biggest song." Of course, a bunch of people were like, pay the producer, blah blah blah. Someone said, "I always pay the producer, bruh. These guys don't respect the producers. They'd be nothing without them. Pay the producers." So first of all, I do want to bring up this one point because this is like a common theme now, right? Until Japan scammed a bunch of producers. Now Lazer just scammed his producer, quote unquote scammed. We'll get into that, whether or not it's a scam or not. I'd say that, producers do make up half of the song, but the problem with a lot of producers is they don't have much leverage. A rapper, once they've made it, can really pick any beat, and a lot of these producers just want an opportunity. That's, for example, why this guy posted a free type beat, which is what someone else said. Lazer paid the $20 and used it for profit. Now the song blew up and he wants money. But that's actually not how it works. There were a ton of replies to this and makes the whole thing confusing. Let me explain how it works, right? If anyone uses your copyrighted material or your beat or your work and they rap on it, technically if you sue, you're entitled to 50% of the song or even more. For example, 6ix9ine, I believe, stole one of Pureborn's beats. I think for Gummo, and now Pureborn, he was offered a bunch of money and he owns 90% of the song, like royalties. He gets paid most of that song. However, here's the thing. Lazerdim's song may have 6 million plays across all platforms, but it's not so big to the point where this guy can take him to court and start suing for this amount of money and pay for all the lawyer fees and everything. So he's not in a great position to do that. The other thing too is, I would say that, of course it's ignorance and this, and rappers at management, a lot of times people get mad at rappers. It's like, you really think they're signing those contracts, bro? It's like, here, what they did was, it was like probably their management, his brand, like Lazerdim's management. He asked for splits and they took him out the credits, which is, and here's what someone said about that. "Y'all surprised a guy that raps about robbing people and stealing is stealing stuff." And once again, this is what I was kind of speaking about in that Until Japan video. Like, a lot of these rappers, they don't really talk about being good people, so they're not really being hypocrites. In fact, they're talking about doing a lot worse things. Oh, by the way, I didn't fully explain how that whole leasing situation works. Even if you pay for a free for profit beat, or even if you just use a free for profit beat, they're still entitled. They can still ask for splits on a song or whatever, you know what I mean? The other thing too is, isn't Lazerdim raking in money right now? This guy is not broke or anywhere close to broke. He's doing shows like crazy, popping out to a ton of places. They're definitely paying him, he's getting money. So how much does a song have on Spotify? Let's check it out. All right, Spotify, Lazerdim, 700. Okay, Asian Rock has 6 mil on Spotify. That means it made 24K. So honestly, 12K is a lot. I kind of see why he doesn't want to give him that, but still, it's wrong. And should he be crucified for this? Honestly, I feel like if it was anything else and someone was owed half of $24,000, $12,000, they would absolutely get so much sympathy and so many people would be calling out that person. But in this case, no one really cared. They just make these intellectual debates where it's like, oh, the producer does this and this. It's like, bro, he obviously deserves it, but people just don't care enough, and this guy will never get the money. Yeah, it is what it is. I will say though, he did get kind of lucky. Asian Rock was just a random beat off YouTube. Lazerdim dropped it, so should he be grateful? Yeah, but he didn't really get anything out of it, so you can't I'm not defending scamming here. I'm just saying it's the whole leverage thing I was speaking about. Lazerdim that's why producers don't really have the power to speak out against scamming. But let me explain something else. All right, scamming also has just been a thing in the underground for a while. For example, Summrs and Can. These guys are like Shaq and Kobe when it comes to scamming gullible fans. You can just look up Summrs scamming. I'm not even gonna pop anything up, or honestly, maybe I'll pop something up. Just look up Summrs, Summrs scamming Reddit or something, and you'll just look. There's like so many. There's an ocean. There's a vast ocean of posts of Summrs scamming. Like there's this one post of Summrs scamming where the guy's asking on Reddit, it's like, "Hey guys, should I cop some unreleased Summrs?" I DM'd him and he said if I pay him like $1,000, he'll send me some songs. And everyone was like, "Bro, are you stupid?" Like, you know. And Can used to sell like lean methods, and all these like rappers used to sell like methods and stuff, and you know, they'd sell features and never give them back. Or what they would do is they would like say, "Hey, swipe up if you want features," and they would sell like 10 each for like 500, but they would only send out like 2, or they'd have like open verses, which means that they have like an open, they've already recorded it and they send it out to you, but they send the same one to like multiple people. There's this other scam where people do too, which isn't really a scam, but they'll be like, they'll give you a feature, but you're like a nobody, so they won't repost it, so it won't do anything for you. So there are all sorts of ways for people to run money. Honestly, if you buy a repost from someone on SoundCloud too, that's also kind of a scam. It's not really gonna do much for you. There's so many, I mean, they scam for merch. There's so many rappers who like, they don't ship out their stuff. I think Autumn had some controversy with the brand, but he was like, I don't really own it. And then, you know, Wyland, his stuff never ships out. And there's so much stuff. Even Can once pretended to make a clothing brand and just scammed everyone. It was called like Bring Walk Back, or I forget the name, but you know, and he did like a whole promotion for it and everything. Honestly, it's mad funny that it even went through. Like I remember the merch website, he didn't even change the default. Like it said, this is a description for the product. He didn't even like take it off. You know, people have been scamming, so I feel like everyone is kind of like their conscious, or their like morals towards these rappers has been eroded by this point, to the point where like if Laserdem is scamming a producer, they don't really care. You know what I mean? Another thing you also gotta understand is a lot of these kids are young. Like a lot of these fans are young, so they're not like you can't really expect a 13-year-old to be like, you know what, my Laserdem 700, you better pay that, you better play Bloom or whatever his name is, you better pay that guy, like you better pay his fair share of, like, you know, they're not really gonna care. And can you blame them? Not really. You know, also rap is all about glorifying a bunch of like horrible things, like, you know, whatever you want to say. So once again, you know, finessing a producer isn't really gonna ruffle feathers. I also wanted to talk about another thing. I feel like a lot of times people think rappers scam because they're like down bad or something. Like I'll give you an example. There's one guy on Twitter, and this is like pertaining to the Laserdem situation. He said he probably couldn't afford the beat. Another person said, Laserdem got a negative bank account, bro, just let him have it. So I don't know why everyone thinks Laserdem is like broke or down bad or like just a complete bum, I mean, I kind of get it. So in the beginning of Laserdem's career, he had this Instagram live where he showed everyone where he lived, and honestly it was one of the coolest things a rapper has ever done. He basically showed everyone that he was, I won't say down bad, but he was just like, this is all I really got, a room, you know, a mattress that I just fold up or I put up, and it's really all I got to live. And it wasn't really a really nice place, and he was very honest. He was very like real with his fans, you know. But for some reason, after this guy got millions and millions and millions of streams across all platforms, like one of the hottest rappers in the underground, doing shows like crazy, probably getting money from all sorts of ways, they think he's still broke, or like really, he's like, bro, he's not, you know what I mean? And I think that's another thing people used to think about, like Summrs and Can and all those other rappers that used to scam. They think that like they were like huge addicts, and I'm sure they were definitely like, addicted to substances and stuff, but they were like, man, they just need this to like, it's like, no, they're just using this to make money, you know what I mean? So overall, I'd say that like scamming in the underground isn't gonna go anywhere, because number one, nobody really cares. Like if people really care about something, they'd actually do about it, you know? Like you see this with all sorts of, like, I'm not gonna say anything specific, but you can see this all over social media and everything. People will constantly be they'll do like performative activism where they'll like repost stuff. It's just like, all right, bro, like what did you actually do? Did you donate any money? Do you like, you know? And I'm not saying I do any of those things, but I'm just saying like people will love to like pretend to care about stuff like this. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even care. Like this guy got scammed, you know, it sucks. At the end of the day, like, you know, things happen to everyone, you know, everyone gets done dirty at some point in their life, and it is what it is. I don't really like feel bad or anything. He should have honestly, there's nothing he should have done. The best he can hope for, and I'll say this at the end, the best he can hope for is that Laserdem gets super successful, like mega successful, like, and this song ends up getting like 50 million or 100 million streams, or not even 50 million, maybe like 10, 20 million streams, and he can, because then it would be like $80,000, maybe even more, like 100, probably, yeah, if he got 20 million on Spotify, it would probably amount to like over 6 figures in total, and then he could really sue them. lasered him, and then he could, you know, get some money out of him, or if he got more, it would be better. But, you know, maybe he finally does get gets his funds up to be able to sue lasered him, and lasered him is like falling off or something. There's no money left. It's like, shoot, you know, like, so yeah, you know, it's like a whole like messed up situation, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Anyways, I do want to know, what do you think? Is scamming cool? Is it like, should it be condoned? I feel like it's an obvious no, but what? I feel like the real question to ask is, why do you think people shun this so much? I already explained why I think it's shunned so much, and once again, I'm not pretending like I'm a saint or anything, you know. I don't really, like, I can't really pretend like I care and I sympathize with all these people, or I empathize with all these people, because I would never pay an underground rapper like a lot of these people are. I'm not talking about the laser dim situation, I'm just talking about scamming in general, but let me know. And I'm not even trying to be mean or anything, I'm just being honest, okay? So, yeah, let me know. Take care, have a nice day, bye. See ya, bye.